This is one of those laptops that looks like it's trying to quietly blur the line between a work machine and a gaming setup without making too much noise about it. On the surface, you're getting a 17.3-inch Full HD IPS display, an AMD Ryzen 5 6600H processor, 16GB of DDR5 memory, and a massive 4TB SSD. Add Radeon 660M integrated graphics, a backlit keyboard, fingerprint unlock, and 100W Type-C charging, and you've got a very loaded spec sheet for a machine that isn't trying to scream "gaming beast" at first glance. But specs only matter when they translate into real-world performance. Starting with the processor, the Ryzen 5 6600H sits in that efficient performance category. It's built to handle multitasking without constantly throttling or slowing down. Whether you're juggling dozens of browser tabs, working in productivity apps, editing light media projects, or switching between workloads, the system stays stable and responsive. The addition of 16GB DDR5 RAM pushes that smoothness further. DDR5 is not just about speed on paper, it actually improves how quickly the system responds under pressure. App switching feels faster, background tasks don't choke performance as easily, and heavier workloads feel more manageable compared to older memory standards. Then there's storage, and this is where things get a little unusual in a good way. A 4TB SSD in this category is massive. It removes the typical limitations most users deal with. Large game libraries, 4K video files, software suites, and project folders can all live on the device without forcing constant cleanup or external storage juggling. It's a set-it-and-forget-it kind of setup when it comes to space. Graphics are handled by Radeon 660M integrated GPU. Now, this is not designed to compete with high-end dedicated gaming GPUs, so expectations need to be realistic. This setup is best suited for esports titles, casual gaming, and optimized AAA games at 1080p with adjusted settings. It's smooth for everyday gaming scenarios, but it's not built for pushing ultra settings in demanding modern titles. The display is one of the biggest physical advantages here. A 17.3-inch IPS panel immediately changes the experience. You get a large workspace that feels more like a desktop monitor than a traditional laptop screen. Full HD resolution keeps things sharp enough for productivity and entertainment without overloading the GPU. Whether you're working on timelines, spreadsheets, editing software, or simply watching content, the extra screen space makes everything feel more comfortable and less cramped. Design-wise, it stays fairly clean and practical. The backlit keyboard is useful for low-light environments, especially for late-night work or study sessions. The fingerprint sensor adds a quick and secure login experience without needing passwords every time. It's not overly flashy or aggressively styled, it leans more toward functional and minimal. Another practical highlight is the 100W Type-C charging support. This improves flexibility and convenience, especially for users who travel or want a simpler charging setup. Faster charging and universal compatibility make it easier to integrate into a modern device ecosystem without relying heavily on bulky proprietary chargers. Now, the real question is where this laptop actually fits in the market. It's not positioned as a pure high-end gaming machine with a powerful dedicated GPU. At the same time, it's not a thin ultrabook focused only on portability and battery life. Instead, it sits in a middle zone that focuses heavily on balance. That balance is actually where a lot of users end up needing a device. For students, professionals, creators, and general users who want one machine for productivity, entertainment, storage-heavy usage, and light to moderate gaming, this type of configuration makes a lot of sense. It reduces the need for multiple devices and avoids constant compromises in day-to-day tasks. Of course, it does have limits. Demanding AAA gaming at ultra settings or heavy GPU rendering workloads will push it beyond its comfort zone. That's simply the nature of integrated graphics systems. But within its intended use case, performance remains consistent and predictable. What stands out most is not any single extreme feature, but the combination of everything working together. Large display, huge storage, modern memory, efficient processor, and practical usability features all create a system that feels well-rounded instead of narrowly focused. It's designed for users who value flexibility over specialization. In a market full of devices trying to be the absolute best at one thing, this one focuses more on being reliably good across multiple categories. And in real usage, that often matters more than chasing peak specs in a single direction. For anyone looking for a large screen, high storage, all-round performance laptop that can handle work, media, multitasking, and light gaming without constantly running into limitations, this is definitely worth a closer look. Check the link in the description for pricing and availability.